here we are. Another episode of the best of the best. Terese, who do you have here today?
So today I'm super lucky to have Saiid Zamani here in the office. He is with the Devin Wayne office of Kellerwilliams, and he has been teaching our agents lots of really great things. And I want him to just introduce himself a little bit, and then we're going to get into talking about some special projects he's working on. So tell everyone a little about you.
Oh, thank you. Saiid Zamani with KW Devin Wayne, Kellerwilliams family. Been in real estate since July of 2014, and experience in real estate marketing since early 2000s. And then market center tech trainer, realtor, and helping agents in our market centers, in short.
I love that. You know what I also love is that we have such collaboration amongst offices.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something that's not seen in many places. So it's kind of really cool to see that.
Very true. Very true. Bringing the people together and working together, that's for the prosperity of the future.
Yeah, and there's so much talent out there that it just doesn't make sense that we're not all tapping into each other.
You know, and it's going to be required more and more.
Yeah, I think
in
so.
the future.
Yep.
With where we're going.
And we're going to be talking a little bit about the future, aren't we?
I know.
So one of your special projects that you're working on and you've been working on for quite some time is artificial intelligence, AI, and how can we use it in our businesses, and how can it make agents' lives easier, the consumer, everyone. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
So it was actually out of a discussion of how to help others. And special in this case was first our agents, because we were talking about masterminding how can we be more efficient, stay in culture and following the systems and models. And then in doing that, bringing value, what we learned to the consumer on the consumer level. So that's what we have been doing the last 10, 12 months, helping over 500 agents, 10 plus market centers. And in recent months on a panel at KW Family Reunion.
Yeah, that was awesome. I saw that. And you talked to our office at our State of the Market meeting, and it was really nice to hear, you know, what's coming, and it really opened the agents' eyes a little bit about how much artificial intelligence can really help them even in their day-to-day work. So
Absolutely.
Why don't you touch on a few things that they could or should be using?
You know, I appreciate that. You know, number one is to start. That's number one.
Always a good
number one
place
is to start. You know, whether you agent, us as human, we make things up before we actually do it.
Yep.
It's all in our minds. Artificial intelligence, one of the best thing an agent can do is first take the first step of downloading the free trials or free apps of ChatGPT, which is owned by OpenAI, or you can use also Google product or Google apps that have access to their Gemini, the free version. And then you can also utilize Claude AI. These are the three. There's many AI.
Okay.
There's thousands.
Okay.
The basic first, you know, take first baby steps before you take a jump.
Yep.
Or you're jumping. So those three, ChatGPT, Claude AI, and Google Gemini are the basics. And then we can talk about the basic things you can do to learn and then provide value to the consumer.
Yeah, I think one of the things you said early is don't have analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to jump in and play around with this. You can't break it. You can't hurt it. Anything you're creating doesn't go anywhere until you send it. Yeah. So it's just fun to go in there and check it out. I did a letter, and I was really surprised at how much it sounded like I wrote the letter.
And you know what it's so true. Not only like, you know, you wrote the letter, you learned from it, but you also became efficient.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And in today's world, the one thing that every human has on the planet is the same thing, no matter experience, is 1,440 minutes a day.
That's right.
Whether you sleep, you walk, you open your eyes, you have the same time.
Yep.
So efficiency matters long term.
Yeah, I think if you talk to anybody, what are they saying? It's like the world is such a hustle and bustle. Days are flying by. There's not enough time to do everything. These are things that can really help you be more efficient.
And you know, people ask me, so what's going on with the real estate market? And it brought me back for the agent side. How can you be more efficient and save time so you can do more research, which brings value to the consumer, and then the consumer finds information faster. Now, consumer can also find that information on their own,
right?
But with the different tactics, strategies of agent helping and saving time, they can be at the house faster and offer more efficient. And that's a value that I think over time we're going to see differentiate agents going to take more market share, and the agents that are going to face themselves out of the market.
Yes, I agree that you will see people showing more value to stay relevant in the marketplace, and AI can definitely make sure that they're doing it efficiently with time. Also, I think consumer versus not, agent, it's really great because the consumer is going to have to learn the AI. If you're learning it first and you're able to provide the information to the consumer at a high level, that's where you win.
And then there's context in the conversations, because sometimes, people want to know who you are, and they want to know, why are you in this in real estate? And then they're looking at how can you help me bring value to the market, So we're going to also see, envision that agents that have been in the market for 10, 20, 30, 40 years are going to be competing with a smarter, efficient agent that have been in a business less time.
That's so true. Well, and you see it all the time, right? What's that saying? You can't teach an old dog new tricks, but you can.
You can. AI is there.
Right? It's just a decision that you have to make and to do things differently. People hate change.
It's not easy.
Change always brings, I think, positive, and growth and opportunity. So, don't be scared of it.
No, it's from the agent standpoint, you asked earlier, what can agents do? And when agents think about lead generation or so-called prospecting, sometimes in our industry, people think about they have to pick up the gorilla that's 1,500 pounds called a cell phone or a phone. But what if there was more? What if there was simpler tasks in less time, more efficient way that can gain you conversation, which leads to appointments, and appointment leads to hopefully helping bring value to a seller or buyer.
Yes. So are there any little tips or tricks that you can talk to us about?
Absolutely. Here's one of the best things I have done. When you are reaching out to, for example, we are in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
We're in Collegeville area. And you're talking to a seller, for example, in Spring City. Now, what if there was a way when you communicated with a seller or buyer in Spring City that you actually toned your approach to that specific area, specific numbers, and specific task, and then you convert that also into a text, email, and a Facebook post or Facebook Messenger post. That way you can have actually 360 relevant information to that specific buyer or seller. So the tips would be, if you're writing an email, the prompt would be create an email about the real estate market around Spring City, or you can also give it a specific address. Include NAR information, and then once you're done with that, create me a text that can be read under 15 seconds. And then once you're done with that, I like to put a Facebook Messenger post that can be read in under 15 seconds. Keep it relevant and to the point.
Okay.
One of the things an agent can do, you can do all those as you speak to it. You can actually speak to the ChatGPT app. It's basically voice to text.
So it's working for you while you're out driving around.
Absolutely. Yeah. I do that, Obviously, I always follow the legal parameters of not texting driving, but when you talk to it, and then if you don't like it, you can go say, redo this and add some more specific NAR numbers, or add some more specific numbers you see from Zillow, Redfin, Bright MLS, Truly, because I'm not saying we're using those, but you have to stay relevant what the consumer sees.
That's right.
And always make sure you input in the text or the emails through your sources, because consumers are going to trust you even more when they know it's not about the information you get, it's about how you translate it into valuable information to that specific consumer.
So something I think you said that was really important. Two things. One is real estate is hyperlocal.
Absolutely. It's
and I think people
more
forget, right?
Yeah.
And it's becoming more and more hyperlocal.
Yeah.
But the second thing is when you put in these parameters and it spits out this awesome information, you need to read it. You need to see
Absolutely.
What is it writing, what is it saying, because it's not perfect.
No.
So you want to make sure that it's what you were going for. And if it's not, you can just ask it to edit it, and then you can read it again. But before you send anything out, I would recommend that you read it, you check it out, because you're putting your name on it. And like you said, quote the sources. It's so important to do that
Yeah.
and make sure that it's just compelling. Now, do you always put some kind of a call to action in your stuff?
You know, it's normally in a Facebook post, in anything out towards the media, I do. You know, inbox me, call me, text me, want to know more. And then you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Why should I post it? Well, guess what you're going to ask? Hey, give me top 5 closing and point to action for a Facebook post.
Okay.
Put that in ChatGPT, see what it says. I'm not saying you're using it. And obviously, we have to disclose it, follow the Telephone Consumer Protection Act,
100%.
the TCPA, fair housing laws, because you can actually see it. Artificial is the word, then it's intelligence.
Yes.
It doesn't know it. You have to teach it. So you can write it, but absolutely. And I have become more succinct with AIs where I use it as an assistant. I'm using it as I'm talking to a human being. And it learns. If you have a paid profile, you can actually tell in the settings of ChatGPT, for example, this is what I like to do. So I kept feeding it, I kept changing it. So after a while, efficiency is on top,
Yep.
and I just pick up the phone. And I realized earlier today, I was writing an email. I'm becoming better in writing emails,
Because you're learning too.
learning faster.
That's funny.
What you feed yourself is also important.
Yes.
So
That's really good. Yeah, I think that's important because AI is learning all the time and it's teaching us at the same time in a way. I think, too, is using it for those efficiencies. Like, for instance, I think agents sometimes they want to market, they don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So what if you just, like you said, hey, what are the top 5 marketing ideas for real estate in Montgomery County? And it might
Absolutely.
pop out something and you pick one and you work it and then maybe you get to another one.
Yep.
But it gives you some direction. So I feel like there's such a great opportunity to just learn from this.
You know, I call it like, you know, it's like a sculpting. Sculpt your message and keep going. In the beginning, I call the ice age of 15 months ago, when everything suddenly ChatGPT was out, everywhere talking about it. You know, you have to learn it and let time go with the flow kind of type, where because you don't see it today, just keep going.
Okay.
And I always said in the beginning, AI is just not listing description, your social media content. There's so much more.
Yep.
And the course that I'm thinking of and be teaching is, it goes into about 45 minutes into it. That's when you start to see, I can do more. You know, so one of the things that agents can do immediately is, for example, Google Gemini, the free version, is backed by Google,
Okay.
the largest search engine on the planet.
Right.
Right.
So they have lots of information.
A lot of information, and you can actually look at it and verify. There's a button you can actually verify the content. You can actually create a community page together with ChatGPT or AI, get the content and put it out there.
That's nice.
And then you don't have to pay for, again, I'm not saying take out your assistant, efficiency. What if those agents that wants to do it, but they cannot afford it?
Nope, I get it.
So
It's all
that's a
about-
cost savings method from efficiency time.
Yeah, I mean, the leverage that it supplies is amazing.
I mean, you can go from here before you get to King of Prussia, which is about 15, 20 minutes. You can have a marketing kit created.
Right.
We do it, look at it, and then you're like, you know what? How long would that take me if I did it myself?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of time. This has been great.
Absolutely.
Do you have any other words of wisdom for the audience here on AI?
If you're an agent and you're wondering, you know, I'm not good with data.
Okay.
People talk about it, all the data. You know, I like a resource that our membership to Realtor Association gives us is RPR.
Yep.
RPR has great tools. I find that sometimes people say, oh, well, you know what? I'm good. I don't know. Well, how can I do something basic? You can actually download the data. You know, every day we do a search on Bright MLS.
Yep.
Upload that PDF into one of the AI products and ask it to give you simple answers. And then text that to a consumer, because consumer have access to everything else.
Yep.
Zillow, Redfin, all the great websites out there, Realtor.com. But what if you actually sent something to them in a 30-second message?
Right.
Or a small post? So my recommendation is take about 20, 30 minutes a day and just go into AI and just give it anything you want to give it. Because our brain, like we see and we read, it learns. We make things up in our head.
Yep.
But what if what we saw is different? Now you start to change your mind around it, because everything is got mindset.
That's so
Before
true.
it becomes a habit and before it becomes an action. So 30 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day can save you a lot of time in the future.
That's really good. So get on there, learn it, take the time. Don't be afraid of it.
No.
And how can the consumer get in touch with you if they need you for real estate or if they want to learn more about AI?
Absolutely. Saiid Zamani. It's Saiid@ZamaniRealestate.com is my email. And search Philly Suburb Homes with the S at the end.com and my cell phone 484-597-6868.
Awesome. Well, please reach out. He's amazing. And if you want to learn more about this, I'm telling you, it's not going away. So wake up.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.